Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
Here we are again. We've got CBA update numbers for the WNBA. I hate using the word historic. I think it is overused and used improperly quite often. So let's just say this is impressive progress for the players going forward. As you can see, these numbers broken by Sham's side note, because it's just kind of interesting to see a lot of people complaining now that the reporters that were camped out that were, keeping us updated did not get the scoop on these numbers and got to release them first. And a lot of people thought that was unfair. And, to me, that's kind of the participation trophy mentality we got, the not the people growing up out there in pickup games with no adults where it's like World Series intensity and you got to figure it all out on your own. I guess just because they were there. Obviously, hey, Shams, as he has worked hard to cultivate a lot of sources that trust him, it is what it is. I mean, that's what reporters do, right? They compete with each other to get this stuff done. Oh, flip that, but let's check this out. So salary cap now starting at 7 million, up from 1.5, insane increase. Supermax begins at 1.4. This is stuff that increases over the lifetime of the deal. I saw a number where the final, I think, Supermax toward at the end of the deal, goes up to 200. Average salary in range of 600,000. I saw some other numbers that were floating at around 550 in the middle, minimum around 300K. Big number. I believe Caitlin Clark is going to make 500,000 or so this year coming up, being in the third year of her rookie deal. And then average revenue share of almost 20%. I believe, based on everything that I have seen, because this is the only thing I've seen about revenue share, that this is actually top line. In other words, this is what the number is based off of what the players want, which is total revenue, right? Where the owners were giving net, which, to be fair, that is one thing. I don't know if I emphasize that enough. I understand the player hesitancy there because, yeah, that's the type of stuff that can be manipulated a little bit in terms of what net ends up being if you get creative with the accounting. So I did understand that. I just thought they were asking for way too much of the total revenue compared to what the WNBA was saying it was, which was about 15%, right? So this is a little higher than what the WNBA had wanted to give up in terms of total revenue. So I'm not complaining. As an outsider looking in, when I talk a lot about, I thought what the players asked for absolutely delusional based on what the WNBA was first offering. I do believe right now, just based on what the things I do know, obviously the devil's in the details. There's other things we don't know, but I think this is a win-win for both. I think the players got huge increases. Now they have to back it up and actually put a product on the court that, minus Caitlin Clark, can justify these numbers. Will that happen? That I'm not so sure about. That's going to be the really interesting part. So now we are gearing up. It's going to be crazy, crazy hectic for the WNBA because we're going to condense the off season into a few weeks. We're going to condense the which with free agency. Now, for I want to get to that. You got to see this. This is wild. You're going to love this. But by the way, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate all of your support. Hope you all having a fantastic day. Shout out to the 19. I don't know about you. I got a tease of spring last week. They decided they're going to go right back into the heart of winter now. It's absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, so check this out. We had some players talking, and yes, as I mentioned, Caitlin Clark. Speaking from, I tried to find video. I can't find video of this, y'all. Speaking from experience, players like me are going to be the ones that I think feel it the most. And that's what I think we're all super proud of because that's what we set out from the beginning was making sure every player felt the change in the CBA. And that's exactly what had happened. Yeah, I mean, she's right there. I don't know who been, if you're looking at the salaries from min to max and fitting it into a salary cap. I mean, I don't know who makes out the most, but they all made out, right? When you're going from, I think, what is first year first now it's on a scale, right? Like if you get drafted number one like Caitlin Clark as a rookie, you're making more as your minimum if you're in the second rounder. But I think it went from and the vet minimum was something just under 70,000. Let's just say 70,000 average between all of them, which is now going to be around 300,000. Again, these are numbers that are a little more than what the WNBA had been offering, since last fall, maybe December, right? So they crept a little bit toward the players, and it looks like they went revenue for the top line number, which is huge for the players, and it's a win. And I'm going to appreciate it because that's 20% compared to what the league was sort of offering a 15, but not the insane, up near 30% that the players were asking for. So again, win in that regard. So I think that is good for the league. We'll see what's going to happen. Brianna Stewart, and look, y'all been here a while. Not a huge Brianna Stewart fan and a lot of the things that she says, but I have praised her multiple times for things she has said recently in terms of trying to get a CBA done and what she's been willing to say publicly that I think a lot of players have been afraid to say. And she has been there for every single bit of this total negotiation, the face to face. So shout out to her. So the deal is going to be transformational. It's going to build and help create a system where everybody's getting exactly what they deserve and more from on the court and off the court aspects. Just excited that we can tell our fans that we're going to be back. So I'm smiling a little bit. I'm not making fun of her, but because I do it too. You have certain words, certain phrases, certain things you say that you're just used to it. You've done it for a while and it sounds right to fit them in, but exactly what they deserve and more. Hmm, that doesn't sound very that doesn't sound very fair at all, actually. Uh, but here's I wanna go over one more thing. I think I have it here. This is kind of wild. I think look at this. A very shortened off season. I believe teams are protecting five, right? So we've got an expansion draft with two expansion teams, and then we've got free agent players scheduled. These are unrestricted. We still restricted. There are some restricted, like Lexi Hull will be a restricted free agent. Players scheduled to be unrestricted free agents next month. I'm not going to read them all off, but I just want to look at this, folks. Bump, 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 bump. Yeah. Da 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 da. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. All right. Yeah. So there's your list of unrestricted free agents. Here's one for the Iowa fans. Okay. Uh, just thought I'd point that out. Um, yeah, so there you go. There's the list of free agents that all have to find a home in a very, very short period of time. It is going to be, and I don't know how. That's one thing I haven't seen yet. How the expansion draft affects unrestricted free agents. Like, is it going to be a limit? Is it going to be each expansion team can select one unrestricted free agent, and then they're like, you know, they're drafted, they have to sign with that team. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Appreciate you being here as always, and I will talk to you later. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on all. Who do you want to see on the Indiana Fever?